Because YouTube is not going to work out anytime soon. Because, I mean, look at the views I get. Just look at the past views on previous videos. I'm getting like 5, 10, maybe 25 views max. By the way, look at the fit. Yeah, I'm getting 5, 10, maybe 25 views max on my videos. So YouTube is not going really anywhere in a good amount of time. And in a few months, you might even catch me making like what, if I'm lucky, $4 a month on YouTube, which is an improvement. Don't get me wrong, but I need a lot of money. Like, I like having money. I like the situation I used to be in, although my expenses were really getting ahead of me at that point. So it'll end up being a good thing that I was able to, that the account was turned off and everything. But and that I had to move and use and like do other methods. So, and just like figure something out a different way. So maybe it's good that I stopped paying for. I had to force myself to stop paying for all of that stuff. But yeah, this is the essence of life. I keep on getting distracted because I'm back over here by this what's it called, this area that has all the Chinese text here. So, and there was another book, right? I don't know if that's a front, but you see that they got the Chinese grandpa, they got the Chinese uncle or something like that. But yeah, my goal is to have a lot of money. Like, and I know people love to downplay the importance of money. This will probably be the last one I show off. But yeah, that'll probably be the last one. But yeah, um, yeah, I like not having to worry about if an expense comes up, like medical expenses, like if a slip and fall or a car crash or something like that everyone has to deal with. Like, I like having money. I like not having to worry. I like having my having to worry not having to worry about people walking around me. Like on December 1st, I woke up and there was somebody in on the second bunk just like me, but they were next to me. But our bunks were not connected because there's a wall if our bunks were connected. But I woke up on December 1st. This motherfucker was staring directly at me with his eyes wide open. He was just like laying on his side, and then he immediately got up and got out of his bunk and left from there. So it's just like this is not like I like having my own space where I can like do my own thing, because like, as I said before, I said something very similar earlier, but this men's homeless shelter is like a mental asylum. It's a shrink, but without the intention of helping people. It's a shrink um, without the 12-step program that you would usually see with that. So yeah, and you can find that video where I said that. But before, and there was a, what's it called, there was an incident of self-immolation, right? This person was apparently on KD, which is a drug, and I just looked that up like a few days ago, an article about that. And it was from a few years ago, but they were still talking. But the article was based in this city, which is the craziest part. It just came up on Google randomly, and like, that was kind of interesting. So, but what happened was that, let me see. So there was, they did announcements. They did an announcement on what's it called? I'm trying to look through these notes. Um, so yeah, that you've got. Let me see. So basically, what KD does is that it has people just behaving like zombies, and like there was a story from like over about a week ago, where somebody was running up a wall when they were on that drug, and it was late at night, but I was closing, so I was up until maybe I was working till 1 a.m., 2 a.m., so I did not see that incident. And so some people in my bunk were saying that this person was running up the wall, like do like 1, 2, 3 steps. And somebody told me, they were like, I couldn't even run up that. I would fall down after one step or something like that. And it's just like too many crazy people. So I was getting off at maybe 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. So I never knew about that. I never actually saw that because I came way later. But on December, I know on December 5th, I went 2 days ago on December 5th, I went downstairs to get my stuff. And then when I was going back up to the second floor on the elevator, one of the guys who doesn't interact with me that much, they were like, he can't go upstairs. And then somebody else said, one of the janitors, I believe, one of them who knows me very well, they were like, he works. And then the original guy said, but he's not supervised. Like, I'm not supervised. Like, they said that as if I'm not a grown ass man. Like, plus there's cameras everywhere. So who gives a fuck? Like, they always like wax on about how the cameras have infrared and how they have like microphones on the cameras, and they can see you in the dark. And like the amount of times I've been told that, like, I'm basically supervised. That means you're just watching somebody do something, like. And I really I really have to just admire the architecture of this, the architecture right here, this Egyptian person thing or something like that. But these books are so beautiful, telling a story right here, telling a real story right here. But yeah, and then on, I'm trying to find what book really got my attention. But yeah, this one right here. But on December 4th, that was when they were doing announcements. And then that was one of the rare days that I was off, because what I do is I leave early, and I leave early and I come back late. So what happened was, on December 4th, they were doing announcements, and the main security guy said, I know you guys know about what situation happened today. Somebody lit themselves on fire. And somebody in the audience was like, said something else. They were like, what are you going to do about somebody jacking off in the bathroom? And then the announcer said, who was it? And then the guy in the audience said, it's the same person. So I'm like, so this person has been doing it multiple times. So what? And before that, there was, oh, actually, before they mentioned the guy beating off, there was someone just before, and he was like, hey, somebody, and that person was like, hey, somebody, there's an Asian girl below me. I said, why is there another Asian woman over there? And yeah, but I'm just saying, it must be like some kind of event or some stuff like that, because you rarely see like two in one day, or like, or even multiple in the same day, like, generally speaking, in America, unless you're in San Francisco. That's how I heard one older Vietnamese gentleman say it. But yeah, that older white dude, he was staring at me in his sleep. And the thing that you'll notice is that sometimes I'll get there super late at night, and he always has his shoes on, and he always has his trucker hat on. And then sometimes he'll have one foot twitching while he'll be laying down facing up. And this guy, what's it called? He's always like scratching himself. And the thing about it is, yeah, I already mentioned he's always wearing shoes when he sleeps, and that hat. But our beds are not touching, because I already mentioned that there's like a wall between that. And then and also, something I noticed that was really like disgusting is, because I don't think he takes showers, there's like these white dots in his head, because he has like short black hair, and his beard is white, but his hair is like mostly black and white, and it's very short. But he has like these like white dots all over his head. And then here comes, and then you see a Asian guy right here. But let me just move on. But yeah, these what basically what I'm saying is that once he was staring at me, and when I woke up, he just got up and left. Like, these guys are weird as hell. Like, think about all the stuff I have to figure out, because since I'm in a rush to move out now, because I've been so very busy since I am homeless. And one thing I will say is, when I originally reached out to some family for months ago to explain my situation, they told me they didn't want to be involved. So I'm trying to find a place to live and figure out lots of other things. And somebody near and dear to me, bless their heart, they reached out to me and were telling me about all the people that wanted to talk to me. And I'm like, I didn't get a message from them. Like, they have my number. So if they, and what I said essentially is, I said all that other stuff, like I'm homeless and I have to figure out all the other stuff. And I pretty much ended by saying, saying, what's it called? I'm trying to think about it, because I have it written down too. But I basically said, if anybody in my family would like to talk, they can reach out to me first, because like I'm, and this is the main point. I'm really the one who is homeless. I'm the one who's busy, and I'm the one who doesn't have all day to talk. So I'm not going to I'm not really going to waste what little free time I have on like on people who are like halfway enthusiastic, because I can go homeless, and um you're not really the yeah, yeah, because and I was like, I'm actually pretending to be on the phone because there's a lot of people walking around, and I hope I'm talking loud enough, because the sound is so muffled when I'm wearing these headphones. But the thing is, I can go homeless, and you're not worried about how I'm doing, but like, you want me to reach out to you. Like, I'm not chasing you down for like your attention. Like, can somebody like reach out? Like, can somebody like, you have to, this time you have to put in the work to like get my attention, because like I'm done, like I'm done trying to like cross the ocean and like climb a mountain to get you to give me like 1 inch of your time. Because the thing is, if you're family and you can't help me in that worst situation, then what do I need you for? Like, if anything, family is like blood relative. People say family, and I'm just going off script at this point. I was thinking about this earlier but never wrote it down, because people say family and there's emotional connotations to it. But from like a technical, like scientific thing, it's just like blood relatives. So, and the thing about it is, I didn't really like intentionally choose to cultivate any of those relationships. Like, it's, if anything, it was like brought to me just because of birth. Like, this shit looks cool. Not this one. This one at the very end. But yeah, that's not something someone that I actually identified and chose to cultivate. Like, these are all types of people with all their own different things. Like, so the thing about it is, like, my viewpoint. See, there go another Asian girl right there. But the thing about it is, if you don't wanna reach out to me, like, we're never gonna talk again, because I'm okay. My main thing is, and I know people can hear me because somebody just looked up, but my main thing is, I'm okay never speaking to you ever again. Because I didn't, it's not even like a type of relationship that I asked for or that I seeked out. I feel like I'm backwards for most people. I feel like what I'll do is, I'll work, I'll work harder to keep a friend as a friend. And, and then I feel like more so, oh, he left. Um, and I feel like more so, if someone who does fall into that category of a blood relative, if they want to leave, then be gone. I'm just going to let them, because like, it's not even, it's just something I was born into with that connection. And being a family, of course, they generally stick together, are raised together, and you're introduced to others in your family consistently throughout life, you know. But A friend is like a chosen path. Like there's a chosen family, and then there's like a blood family. I really feel like that's the case. And somebody just came in here with food, yeah. If I'm a the re and I'm really okay never speaking to them again, because if my situation had gotten that bad, and you don't want to reach out to me, then what reason do I have to keep talking to you for? Because yeah, that's why I don't really agree with putting family in this special category just by being family, because people took care of people who took care of me when I was a child. I can hear better. I can understand how loud my voice is now that I have one ear out. But people who took care of me when I was a child were pretty much obligated to do that. You know how every family, if it's the big sister, has to play like the secondary mom role. When mom steps out, she's going to be like the assistant mom, doing all the phone calls for mom and stuff like that. And then the oldest brother, if that is the case, if whatever sibling is way the oldest, if it's the brother, they have to play the disciplinarian a lot of the time. But yeah, those I would categorize those as family obligations. But on 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 another note, so do you know that I actually started dating apps. I started getting on dating apps in 2020 with the intention of dating for the first time. And I struggled so much for like all those years until like basically now in late 2025. So like now that it's funny how like now that I'm homeless, and although I have a job, like, but like, okay, at least 2 days ago, I I was at a point where I literally had 5 people that I was actively working on setting up dates with, and 2 other people who are too far away, but like still very much interested in talking to me and exchanging things, if you will. But yeah, I've never gotten that much attention in my life as far as like dating apps are concerned, or dating in general. But yeah, I think there was one funny moment. There was one funny moment from like 2021 where 2 white girls I was I was messing with, they both texted me at the exact same time, or like a minute apart. But yeah. Okay, and I should also mention I just had stuff on all the other videos on iMovie, and I should also mention that I'm now finally in the process of like realistically actually like getting a physical tangible step toward getting my own place, because I called the place, and they were like, where they were like, the rate is a certain amount over $1,000. And then they said, where did you find, and then I said, but I thought it was 900 something. And then they were like, where'd you find our apartment? And I said, I found it on suchandsuch.com. And then they were like, oh, actually, it's not. You're looking for our tax credit, which is for people who make less than a certain amount, And I already have that written down, but I'm just not giving specifics. And then he told me the actual rate for the tax credit is, the actual rent is even less than what I said, which was 900 something. He said it was even less than that. And then they need me to just show proof of income. And then the thing is, I plan on going on a tour of this certain place next week. So this will be the first place that I'm actually like actively working on touring, that I'm going to physically go to. So that's another great update. And then the funny thing is, I took a extra shift today because, again, I don't want to be there, especially since I'm making money. And the thing about it is, there was a ghetto black girl who got into an argument with a white female manager because the ghetto black girl was supposed to be clocked in. What is this, To Kill a Mockingbird? There was a ghetto black girl that was supposed to be clocked in at a certain time. The white female manager, she was like, where is such and such at? And she had a ghetto name. And she was dark skinned. She was very big, and she was, I would make something and she would take it apart with her hands, and she almost told me to make it again, but nobody else ever does that. I was like, oh, come on. And then she said, never mind, you don't have to, because nobody else did that, would inconvenience me that much. They would pass it back to me and let me touch it because I have gloves, and it would be a lot quicker to do it that way. But essentially, what happened is I took over that ghetto black girl's shift today, and then there's another shift manager that was there during the argument. There was an argument some weeks ago between the black girl that works there and the white female manager, because the worker was outside when they were supposed to be clocked in. I was in the bathroom and I heard screaming, and I said, please don't let it be my coworkers. And then lo and behold, they're both screaming. Now those two women are cool with each other. That's what the white female manager told me later on, that they're cool with each other. But the manager told me that she just felt disrespected because the black girl came in earlier before the shift was actually going to commence. And then when it was time for her to clock in, she was outside in the car apparently. But just the white female manager was looking around like, where is such and such? And then I had already went into the bathroom to put on my street clothes. And then I was talking to the assistant manager, who's a dude. He's like second in command behind the biggest boss that physically works there, the biggest general manager. And then he was like, man, these are just like, that's how like females are like. And then he was like, how old are you? And I told him my age. He told me his age, and he was like, yeah, we're dudes, like we're too old for that anyway. And like, but I took that black girl shift today, and then the assistant manager who saw what happened, who saw what happened, he was like, I was talking to him, I know that guy that just walked out. I know him. But I was like, let me not call his name out. But the assistant manager was like, I can take on her shift. And I was like, the app allows us to swap shifts, like do a little switcheroo. And I was telling the assistant manager, I don't want to switch or give up one of mine, but I'll gladly take on that one. And then I made sure to speak to him like last night, and then he was like, yeah, I was like, I can continue as normal. And then he was like, yeah, everything's normal, you just took on an extra day. And then what he told me is that he was telling me like, please come, because if both of you don't show up, we're fucked. But then he also told me that if such and such shows up, because she didn't want to work today, so if such and such girl still shows up, then I'm going to send her home. That's what the assistant manager, who's a guy, told me, who saw that argument. And then he was like, he was like, if she still shows up, even though she didn't want the shift, then I'm going to send her home. And then if she decides not to go home, then I'm just going to fire her. So yeah, because and then he was telling me last night, like, hey, you're a much better worker and stuff like that. You don't cause problems with people. So yeah, but that's it. Very good stuff to look forward to. And I'm going to go out and get this food and bring it to my place of work, because someone I know for many years is cool driving me there.